Collective, it's Intuitive Pisces Moon and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. So this week's astrological readings are going to have a focus on a few things. There's a few things going on this week. So we have on September 21st, the new moon in Virgo, which makes this a blue moon because it's now the second new moon in Virgo that we've had consecutively. So that means things that don't normally happen are going to happen. You know, that phrase, once in a blue moon. So something that's rare may occur in your life at this time. That is also included with a partial solar eclipse. So again, ending up eclipse season. So we're going to continue to see more shaked up energy with eclipse stuff going on. And then on the 22nd, that is the first day of fall, or you can call that Mabon, which this is balance between the light and the dark. This is expressing gratitude and letting go as winter approaches. So we do have a lot going on this week, and we're going to jump into your astrology signs. So if that sounds good to you, stay tuned. Hello, Cancer friends. If your sun, moon, or rising falls into the sign of Cancer, then this is your reading. So we're going to jump into your week ahead and take a look at what's going on. So I did pre-pull some cards for you for your spread, and then a little later on in your reading, we will get some additional tarot cards to go with this. So if that sounds good to you, let's jump right in. So the first card that we have for you today is from the Sacred Power Oracle deck. We have this beautiful card, which is Compassion. So we're going to take a look at what the book has to say about this for you. And I am going to let you know that I did record a whole separate reading for you. And when I went to go save it, it said you weren't logged in and it didn't save for whatever reason. So Spirit wanted me to do a whole different reading for you today. And so that's always funny when that happens. So this is enlightenment, divine understanding, and creates new life. Right now, Kuan Yin can assist you in removing karmic obstacles, emotional imbalances, and anything else that is holding you back from receiving love in all its purity. Softening our criticism towards others and understanding differences in opinions and perspectives allows us to communicate more effectively with friends, family, coworkers, and other members of our community. Having an open heart is essential for us to receive and reciprocate love to others. Removing expectations allows us to receive gifts with no limitations and accelerates their delivery. Soft and fertile offerings, such as fresh flowers, encourage this divine exchange of loving energy into our home or sacred space. Your prayer for this card is, I graciously request Kuan Yin to place her fertile healing hands upon my heart, mind, and soul to clear stagnant energies that are limiting my soul's potential to accept love and creation in all its purity. I'm going to repeat that for you. I graciously request Kuan Yin to place her fertile healing hands upon my heart, mind, and soul to clear stagnant energies that are limiting my soul's potential to accept love and creation in all its purity. All right, beautiful energy right there. So, Cancerian friends, this is your question for the day. What is it that you may be criticizing? And it's not just about what you are criticizing in others. It could be, what are you criticizing within yourself? What's going on here with our evaluations, our judgment? Okay, so right now during this time frame, you're being called to exert more compassion, not just for others, but for yourself, right? If you're going through some sort of growth type of situation, or things are just kind of being all shaken up in your life, you might be looking at it, you might be judging it. Maybe you don't understand something, so your first inclination is to judge it. So this includes within yourself. Okay, so what this is giving me is, things that are ingrained in us when we grow up with our family, with our ancestral lineage, right? So think about how you perceive things and how you may unconsciously either bias against things or judge against things. And again, include yourself in this grouping, because you may be very harsh on yourself and you deserve compassion as well. All right, let's get into your next card here. So we have this one, number 25, which is mead and wine. Your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. All right. Your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. So this is about the here and now. Okay. This also may be about I'm getting like creative juices. Okay. So what is it that you're creating at this time? And I'm even having this tied to your sacral chakra here. So that is your sexual nature, your creative nature. So what is it at this time that you are creating? And is it something that you're happy about, or are you judging it? Maybe you're judging the fact that you're not creating enough, something to that effect. So let's get over to the animal spirit that came out for your spread today, and we got the fish. All right, let's look at the fish. Let's see what we have in the book here. So the fish symbolizes restlessness, change of focus, and lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement. And the roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in this vast water, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. When they're in balance, they're adaptable and they travel well. When they're out of balance, they're distracted and they change their mind often. To bring them into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. So what this is giving me now is going back to this compassion card and even your presence, right? The here and now. It feels like it may be difficult for you to just kind of sit and focus on one thing. And again, maybe you judge that about yourself, Some people just chalk it up to, well, I have ADD or I have ADHD. And they're just like, that's the way I am. And that's okay. You know what? You do you, right? But sometimes, and I'm going to go with the analogy with the fish, the fighting against the current. Sometimes the current, it doesn't help you. It hinders you. So the going with the flow with the current in this scenario, I'm going to use as using like an ailment as a crutch, right? Or the I am just the way I am type of thing. So I actually had an example of this that somebody gave to me, and my mind was blown. I literally went like, mind blown during this, because I have exercise-induced asthma, and I hate running. I really do. I hate it. And this person that I was speaking to was training for a marathon. And, I even said, I don't like running. I have not ADHD. I don't have that. I have exercise-induced asthma. And I said, so it really does, it's painful to run, right? Not only on my joints and everything else, but with my lungs, my throat, everything. And she said, oh, that's so funny because I also have exercise-induced asthma, and I've learned to work with it. And I started running, and you got to kind of take it slow at first, but then you can kind of work your way through it, and you kind of live with it rather than just saying, yeah, it's there and I can't do certain things. I literally was like, wow, you have the same thing as me and you're doing marathons. And then that kind of made me look back and go, what can I do? I've been using this thing that I have to say that I can't do certain things when maybe I haven't even tried, or maybe it's just something I don't want to do, and I'm saying, well, I have that, so I can't, So let's look at that. And again, specifically what's coming up is overthinking something and not being able to focus on the present moment and doing too much, like multitasking. So it is giving me ADD or ADHD for this, reading here today. Many people believe that they can't sit and focus on one task, and so they do spread their energy out all over the place. But that's not bringing you any form of peace. And it's maybe even, I'm trying to think of what to say with this, a trauma response to something. Some people cannot sit in silence for whatever reason, so they need to fill it with something. Whether it is a task to do, or talking, watching TV, playing on your phone. Whatever it is that you feel you need to fill the silence with they call it like busy work. Sometimes you don't even accomplish anything when you're doing that because your brain is in a million places at once. So what you're being called to do right now is to look at how you function and to decide for yourself, are you just doing the busy work and just kind of go? Or are you able to take the time to sit and be present in this moment and focus with intent on your tasks? All right, the next card we got is the flying fish, which is possibility. So a lot of fish energy. I mean, you are a water sign. Even with the lotus flowers, those all grow in the water too. So there's a lot of water energy here for you. And I even just got the analogy of turning water into wine. So you have the ability to do that, whether you believe you can or not. This is turning some sort of situation into something that you want it to be or need it to be, rather than just accepting it for what it is. Okay? So this is like transmuting pain into love. So how can you utilize your time without judgment, add more compassion, and know that there's tons of possibility out there for you for everything that you can accomplish? All right, let's jump into the tarot for you. Thank you. The Wheel of Fortune. Something is about to switch in your life. Like the cycles are changing. So maybe you're in the process of figuring this out about yourself. It feels like you're doing some sort of self-attunement as well. Like you're like, you know what? I can do more things than I thought I could. And maybe you're being tested to do that. Like I keep hearing putting you to the test. Putting your body to the test to test its limits. Putting your mind to the test. All right, we have the Three of Wands. The High Priestess. The King of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Wow, let's get one more. One more, please. So what I am getting now with this stuff is with the learning and growing that's happening with you at this time, you are being pushed to your limits, and to sort of almost figure out what you can do, what your limits are. 10 of Cups at the bottom. I love this energy for you. So you may be going through something that's pushing you, like testing you. But here's the thing. It's for your benefit, because some of you out there have these kind of habits and limiting mindsets that are prohibiting you from doing your greatest potential. And so you may be going through something at this time that's trying to allow you to see what's possible by pushing you further. Like, oh, you think that you can't sit in stillness for a moment. Well, guess what? I'm going to take away all your distractions and force you to sit in stillness. And then you're going to see what that's like. Now, we have the High Priestess here, which is beautiful energy, because what this is also doing is this is tapping you into your intuition. Maybe some of you have been like, no, I don't have psychic capabilities. I'm not clairaudient or clairvoyant or whatever the clairs are. And you're being gifted the time and the space to do this. I mean, let's look at these two cards because they mimic each other. You're being gifted the time to sit in silence and to go deeper. So whether this is through prayer, meditation, anything, you're being gifted something right now. And it's trying to show you all your abilities that maybe your brain has kind of shut down about you. And I'm getting that this is more what people have told you. Maybe when you were younger, you had some sort of intuitive ability and you said something like, hey, I just felt something happen to me and I don't know what that means. Like I saw a vision, and then you had someone come up to you and say, nah, you're just imagining stuff, something like that. That's what I'm getting here. And so you just kind of tuned it out and said, yeah, no, you're right. I was just imagining something. That can't be real. So it feels like you're getting back into touch with that. Now, we do have a King of Pentacles and a Queen of Cups here with an Emperor. Now, I don't know who's listening, whether you identify as a masculine or feminine energy. It doesn't matter. We do have a balance of both. Queen of Cups, I am getting that this is more you because it is a watery feminine energy. And that just is what it is. We also have a King of Pentacles here. Now, this is like a very practical, kind of material-minded masculine energy. And I'm getting two things with this. One is this could have been an individual, again, maybe a father figure or something like that, that was one that stifled your abilities, like kind of almost made you feel that being intuitive was too much for the world and tried to show you how to be more like them. Like, be more material minded, don't worry about your feelings and emotions and your intuition. Like, that stuff doesn't matter. You need to make money. You need to be more like this. And so it was hard for you to find that balance between the two. We've definitely got an Emperor here, which to me says that you are finally taking authority over your own life and not allowing somebody else to kind of say, this is what you need to be. This is who you need to be. You're like, look, I got my own stuff going on. I'm figuring it out. I'm also seeing with the Three of Wands that you did at some point reach that fork in the road. And that you had already made your choice to go in a particular direction. And now you're starting to see some of the fruits of that labor. So this is beautiful energy though. What I'm just seeing is, you know, whatever influence here had over you, it feels like you're not allowing that to control anything that you're doing anymore. Okay? Because if you are a feminine watching, I'm getting that you've been more in your masculine energy. And you're being called to remember back when you were more in your feminine energy, that watery energy, that intuitive, nurturing energy. You know, Cancerians are very family oriented, very nurturing, very loving individuals. Okay, very home based, home-bodied. And so you may have had somebody that came in that tried to convince you that you need to be some other way. All right, let's see if we can pull some more. We'll go with this. What else do we have, please? We have the Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Yep, that could have been that King of Hazards. King of Pentacles. We have the Dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something that you did in the past. All right. And we have the Rainbow, the most difficult part of the situation is over. I love it. And then we have the Unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Love it. Your intuition is on point right now. So the biggest message here is to trust that. And to know that your intuition will always guide you to where you need to be. All right, let's get you an angel number. We have 2222, which is feminine forces. Relationships, harmony, prosperity, collaboration, patience, humility, support, connection. While you have the strength to accomplish everything on your own, life is meant to be shared. Partner with a right spirit, and together you'll become an unstoppable force. Honor your commitments and value the people around you. Avoid judgment and focus on listening to build meaningful connections. All right, that is so crazy because we talked about masculine and feminine, and we also talked about avoiding judgment. So this is just really reiterating all of that. All right, let's get your journal prompt. Am I clear on what my soul really wants? Take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Today's soul action, ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? Then take one step in that direction. Wow. What a very beautiful and synchronistic reading for you, my Cancerian friends. So, you know what to do. I'm already getting that you've figured this out. You've already started to head in the direction that you really want to go. Even if things seem unsure at this time, you know, just keep trusting and keep moving in that direction that you're already going. You already know the path, and your higher self already is leading you that way. So just keep trusting and keep going. So this has been your reading. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If this message resonated with you, go ahead and give it a like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And if it didn't, that's okay. Go ahead and check out one of the other readings that falls into your sun, moon, or rising, and maybe there's something there that you can put the pieces together with. But I want to wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and so much love. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.